Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Inclusion and Wellbeing Forum. Today's session will be looking at developing quality literacy skills based on research from the Education Endowment Foundation. As always, all mics should be muted so that the speaker can be heard. If you have a question, you can pop it in the chat and either myself or Harmeet will answer it. If you are representing an organization or services, please be mindful that this is all voluntary. We don't affiliate with anyone, and we don't promote any services or sales. If you have a question about a specific school, please be mindful about confidentiality. We don't name names, but please feel free to ask any questions that you think are pertinent. Now, so today's session, we will look at defining quality literacy support, understanding key principles, how we can demonstrate it in practice, and we'll evaluate some tools to develop quality literacy support in class. Now, anyone who has attended some of our sessions in the past, you will know that we are great fans of the Education Endowment Foundation. This is an organization that carries out research across education internationally. They do their own base research, and they also do meta-analyses of a huge amount of research that is coming out every day and every week in education. So one of the key areas that they have been researching in the last few years is all around literacy. And they have found that literacy, one-to-one tuition for literacy can have a huge impact on students' progress and student outcomes. And they look at research across 3 different domains: the cost of implementation, the amount of research and evidence that's there, and the impact in months. So how do we define quality literacy? Literacy is fundamental for success in schools and for later in life. Students who cannot read, write, and communicate effectively are highly unlikely to access challenging academic curriculum, particularly in secondary schools. So literacy in practice. Literacy needs to be driven from the senior leaders of your school, through the middle leadership team, down through to the students. Adequate continued professional development should be provided for teachers relating to the subject-specific teaching of educational literacy. And we often assume that this is a skill that teachers will have, or that they will have acquired as part of their BEd, but it often isn't. And in a region where our teachers are often English as a second language teachers, then this is particularly important. Often our teachers have to educate themselves on the vocabulary needed for their subject-specific delivery. So teachers in every subject should provide explicit vocabulary instruction to help students access and use academic language. Now, so teachers can support students by modeling high-quality talk, for example, key vocabulary and metacognitive reflection. Now, what does metacognitive mean? We did a session a few months ago on metacognitive strategies, metacognitive thinking, metacognitive questioning. So if we go back to our etymology and look at the structure of the word itself, meta meaning large or whole scale. So you think of micro, meso, and macro. Meta is like the whole thing above that, and cognition for thinking. So metacognitive reflection is your grand scale thinking. You're reflecting on how you come to certain concepts, and the improvements in literacy were really evident. Now, when you're implementing this kind of strategy across the school, we need to think about how we track it. So moving through the cycle of implementation. And this